Coming to you from the heart of the Motherlode, this is EDC's Week in Review, your September 5th edition. Thank you for tuning in. It looks like the weather this week is going to be another sunny summer week, with highs in the mid-80s and lows dipping down to the mid-70s during the middle of the week, with a little bit of clouds then too, and lows getting into the high 50s. We'll see if this week stays sunny or if we have some random weather again like last week. Now on to our top stories. Firefighters contain Valley Fire and rescue. Labor Day turned into a long battle for firefighters when a vegetation fire broke out off Sweet Valley Road and rescue. Crews from El Dorado Hills Fire, Cal Fire, Amador El Dorado, Rescue Fire, and the County Fire Protection District kept the blaze to 16 acres despite 100-degree heat and nearby homes at risk. Air and ground crews worked quickly to stop forward progress, and Cal Fire later reported 66% containment. Mandatory evacuations were ordered for several roads, including Sweet Valley and Kanaka Valley, while warnings extended to Deer Valley and Starbuck. Among those impacted was Fat Kitty City Humane Society, which had carriers ready before learning the evacuation was reduced to a warning. The nonprofit thanked the community for overwhelming offers of help with transportation and fostering. By Tuesday, all evacuation warnings were lifted and roads reopened, though fire crews remain in the area. The cause of the Valley Fire is under investigation. Unlicensed contractor sentenced for defrauding seniors. Patrick Daniel Jordan has been sentenced for defrauding elderly victims in the county after posing as a licensed contractor on Craigslist. Using another person's license number, he used employee labor without workers' compensation insurance, then tricked victims into paying double by falsely claiming their final check had bounced. When they tried to reach him afterward, he ignored their calls. The case was referred to the district attorney by Adult Protective Services. Jordan pled guilty on August 29th to felony use of another's contractor license with intent to defraud and a misdemeanor for employee workers without insurance. On September 2nd, Judge Ashworth ordered 2 years of probation, 45 days in jail, and conditions including no contracting without a valid license, stay-away orders, and search terms. A $10,000 fine was suspended if he completes probation. A restitution hearing will determine repayment, which could include 10% interest by law. Old Depot Road realignment underway. A key road in Diamond Springs is shifting as part of the Parkway Phase 1B project. Starting September 4th, Old Depot Road's intersection with Missouri Flat Road is moving about 600 feet northwest to Sierra Door and Supply's driveway. Detour signs are in place in both directions, and the temporary alignment will last for roughly a year. The change makes way for construction of the future permanent signalized intersection at Diamond Springs Parkway and Missouri Flat Road. The county's transportation department says this realignment is needed to move the larger project forward, which is designed to ease traffic congestion in the area. Questions can be directed to the county's transportation main line. A call for change in CAO hiring process. Lee Tenenbaum, president of the Taxpayers Association of El Dorado County, is urging the Board of Supervisors to reform how it hires the county's chief administrative officer. Currently, the board must unanimously agree on a candidate. A rule, Tenenbaum argues, reduces the search to a political popularity contest instead of a merit-based process. He pointed to the hiring of Tiffany Schmid 2 years ago as an example, saying other qualified applicants were eliminated simply because one supervisor withheld support. With a budget deficit projected to reach $65 million by 2030, Tenenbaum emphasized the need for an independent professional not beholden to board politics. He suggested shifting to a majority or supermajority vote, warning that the current rule undermines transparency and independence. The association says county residents deserve a CAO chosen for qualifications, not for political convenience, as the role is critical to guiding finances and long-term planning. Oktoberfest returns to Main Street. Placerville's Oktoberfest is back on September 20th from 2 to 8 p.m., bringing Bavarian flair to Main Street with beer, wine, German food, and live music across multiple stages. Bands include Island of Black and White at the Bell Tower, Echo Summit and Darth Mozart at the West End, and Born and Raised with Smokin' Violets in the front of the courthouse. A highlight for families is the return of the Dachshund Dash and costume contest, with registration now open. This year also introduces the first ever giant zucchini contest. Organized by the Placerville Downtown Association, the event remains free and family-friendly, drawing locals and visitors to celebrate the harvest season. Sponsors include Thompson's Auto Group, Shingle Spring Subaru, Sequoia Roofing, and others. Community members are also invited to get involved as sponsors. And now for some news nuggets. The California Franchise Tax Board warns of scam texts mimicking official messages to steal personal data, urging residents to verify communications through official channels. Red Hawk Resort and Casino will host its annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb on September 11th for first responders to honor 9/11 heroes. The Diamond Springs El Dorado Community Coalition hosts a discussion on September 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Herbert Green School Gym to address traffic, housing density, and historic resources concerns as the Board of Supervisors attempt to change zoning in the county. Seniors with limited incomes can receive $50 preloaded cards for farmers markets in the county through September from the Health and Human Services Agency. Gary Clark was honored as Rotarian of the Year by the Cameron Park Rotary Club for over 20 years of service, including leading fundraising and community projects like the bicycle giveaway. Old Town Coloma Theater's Volunteer Day on September 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. invites community members to repair auditorium seats, supporting local performing arts and offering student service hours. The Georgetown Volunteer Fire Department's Texas Hold'em Poker Tournament on November 22nd at IOOF Hall raises funds for critical firefighting equipment, offering prizes and community engagement. Dry Diggins Distillery in El Dorado Hills is adding a full-service restaurant and bar called Hills to its campus with a 2025 opening. And on to our closing stories. Exploring Tahoe's depths in YouTube series. Chase Petley has spent more than a decade building and testing remotely operated vehicles to unlock the mysteries of Lake Tahoe. His work is now the focus of a new YouTube series, Mysteries of the Deep Lake Tahoe, launching September 5th. Petley and his team have already filmed the lake's 1,645-foot depths, discovering sunken boats, unusual geological formations, and even what could be new fish species. Some recordings suggest the possibility of freshwater life using echolocation, a theory being studied with scientists. Emmy-winning cinematographer Michael Cheeseman is documenting the project, noting that even failures on ROV design bring valuable insight. The team's long-term goal is to perfect a camera taxi capable of deeper, longer missions with clearer images. Petley hopes sharing the discoveries will inspire protection of the lake and spark interest in engineering among young people. Short clips are already available online. Thrifty Ice Cream finds new home. When Rite Aid on Broadway announced its closure, Tony Windle, owner of TW Bonkers on Main Street, saw a chance to preserve a childhood favorite. Windle purchased the store's ice cream cabinets, signage, cups, and even the famous cylindrical scoops, then confirmed he could buy Thrifty brand ice cream wholesale. Once the transfer was complete, he moved everything to his shop and held a soft opening, where sales of cones in 2 days outpaced 2 weeks of regular business. Customers quickly embraced the nostalgic return, especially classics like Chocolate Malted Crunch. Windle is selling at original Thrifty's prices, making the treat both affordable and familiar. For him, it's not just about ice cream, it's about keeping a piece of local history alive. With the iconic sign now on Main Street, Thrifty Ice Cream has a new home in Placerville. And this has been EDC's Week in Review, your September 5th edition. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And if you want to learn more about these stories, please see the show notes.